All right. So we're here in the after show, and we not only have Dr. Janice Moody join us, but lady, if you are watching us on the video, we also have one of our favorite guests, Baby Zara.
Child. And I'm in my closet because she was supposed to be sleeping, but she slept through most of the interview. But yes, here we go, the after show.
Yes.
Yes. She
That was
looking
so
around like, what
good.
is happening?
Right, what are they do? Dr. Moody, that was so good. Oh my goodness. Just thinking
So
about the
much
HBCU
fun.
experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like I live with like no regrets, but if I could go back in time, I would have definitely gone to an HBCU,
Yeah.
like for undergrad.
Yeah, I think if even with people who are thinking, well, there's a lot of people who feel like they've arrived and like, oh well, I'm gonna send my child because there's means, there's more access, and our students are actually a lot more Black students are being recruited to some of the larger PWIs or the more popular, even some of the Ivy League institutions or programs that are incentivizing, trying to pull for African American students, particularly like they've been doing historically around the athletes. That's another conversation.
Yes.
But
a whole other conversation, but yes.
yeah. So, but there are a lot of folks. There's also a movement that's kind of increasing the presence, and there's more visibility for HBCUs right now too, because I feel like okay, especially for the foundational stuff, we talk about the significance of that particular developmental stage. If would From what we know, graduate school to entail, you have to have a solid foundation to be able to manage the madness that comes along with it. Because, I mean, there are some master's programs, kind of depending on what the discipline is, that can be really, really, really difficult. But doctoral programs, there's a different level of hazing that is set up specifically to maintain the exclusivity of the doctor club. And for those of us who are not likely to gain entry into the programs, no less finish the programs, then Dom, you and I have worked on stuff specifically to be able to address the needs of students who are trying to get into the programs, who are trying to survive the programs. So when it comes down to that, in order to be able to kind of get out and actually be able to access the resources that some of the larger institutions, PWIs, might have, then the foundation of HBCU is a good thing to have, honey. Because when I tell you,
not to like, I mean, I obviously no names, no putting anyone out there because I want to protect you all, but like, what would hazing look like at the doctorate level? Like, what does that even mean?
Go back and rewrite your first 2-3 chapters of your dissertation 52 times. Like, oh no, not this, change this. I'm not reading this. Or people, your folks on your committee send you back to do stuff that kind of doesn't make sense, or they're not able to give you misguidance or a lack of direction in terms of process. Be absent from the process. Yeah.
Let you get in your dissertation, supposedly looked over your work, and wait until you get into your defense to start asking questions that you weren't prepared to answer.
Yeah. So the hazing is real in the streets.
Or they'll tell you early on in your career, your writing is not scientific enough. It is too flowery. I don't know how many, myself included, how many Black students have been told, your writing is too flowery.
Yeah, it's not academic. Yeah, so
which I later learned was no, it's not that my writing is flowery. This is my narrative. I'm writing from a narrative perspective, and you're asking me to whitewash what I'm saying. And I'm just not, it's not in me to really do that.
Yeah. But that's what makes the work that we do with our writing very different than a lot of the publications and stuff that come out from more mainstream academicians, because our
I,
stuff is not intended to just be published and sit in the scientific journal on the shelf.
Right.
Please miss me with that. Mine needs to be able to reach the community. I don't care how many.
Right.
Just yeah, that's
I was
not
about to
good
say,
for me.
I would much rather read something flowery and inviting that's like a story than some scientific just number. You know what I mean? Like when you
Mm-hmm.
said that, I'm like, that actually sounds more
Exactly.
appealing to me. But
Mm-hmm.
there you go. Okay, so subtle racism or
Yep.
blatant racism and the hazing,
Mm-hmm.
that makes perfect sense now. That's
Mm-hmm.
so sad.
Yeah,
Just like in
it
every
is.
arena, we got to be jumping through hoops to just be present.
Constantly.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
one thing I thought about in the episode too was when I would change my hair up when I went to work to the HBCU, I didn't have anxiety about, oh, someone's going to try to touch my hair and I got to swat them away, or I'm going to wear braids. I hope everyone recognizes me on Monday when I come into the office. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Versus when you go to a
Mm-hmm.
PWI, it's like you have the same exact face, but you just
Mm-hmm.
change your hair color. Now it's like, oh, we have a new person here. And you're just like,
Right.
did y'all not see my face at all? You just see like,
Right.
there go Blackie. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
confused.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And like,
Right.
oh, like there's a whole story behind it, and whatever it is that they put on whatever the style is that you kind of present, with having to be concerned about, what perception this is going to morph into. Who am I going to have to deal with as a result of me having decided that I don't want to do anything with my hair for the next month, so I got braids, as opposed to,
Right.
So yeah.
Or when you take the braids out, oh, you cut your hair.
How long did that take? All that stuff. I mean, the microaggressions. But y'all, can we talk about? I saw a post on social media about Sha'Carri Richardson, and they were
Mm-hmm.
saying, I love what she stands for, just as far as
Mm-hmm.
her, the hair color, the nails, all that, right? And
All
someone
flow
said,
Jewish.
right, right. I thought
Mm-hmm.
the same thing. And someone made a
Mm-hmm.
statement. They're like, okay, we've been telling y'all that your hair color, your nails, that doesn't matter. It doesn't make you more unprofessional. You see that this girl has all that and
Mm-hmm.
she's accomplished this goal. So can we stop the stigma around when people, especially black people, want to change their hair color or show up
Mm-hmm.
with tattoos or look a certain way? And there's this whole stigma around, oh, this is not professional. And it's like, no, it can be. That has nothing to do with your intellect and your ability. It's just
Right.
ridiculous.
It is. It is.
Right.
And can I tell y'all that I got over that too, especially after I left Louisiana for real. I got to
Yeah.
Los Angeles. Okay, wait. There's two different things that completely shifted that whole what professional formal stuff looked like. My first experience at an ABSI convention, and I
Mm-hmm.
went and I had on what some of my ABSI brothers and sisters called the consummate monkey suits. You show up in a monkey suit. So it was this, conservative, this is what you look like in a professional environment. I was like, I want to wear what the other people look like. The Association of Black Psychologists has like an annual convention every year. And although it's Black psychologists and other people who are concerned with the psychological, emotional, and spiritual liberation of African descended people across the diaspora, it's a family reunion, homecoming, just shebang
Yep.
powwow thing, right? So we get together, we do the scientific work, but at the same time, we have to wear a monkey suit because we're at home.
Nope.
So people
Nope.
get to wear all of the, like, look at this garb that I found. Girl, look at these earrings and these fine Dinkra symbols and all of this fabulous jewelry and stuff. And we get to be our expressive selves. So I showed up in the monkey suit and realized, wait, this does not validate my professionalism. So chuck
Exactly.
the monkey suit. Then when I was in California, and so I was doing interviews for like practicum, internship, that kind of stuff. Again, here come the monkey suit stuff. Got on the monkey suit stuff. And I'm sitting in these rooms with these people who were wrinkled clothes, just
Hmm.
wrinkled
Hmm.
button down, khaki, flip flops.
Hmm.
Wait, y'all, this is the one right here.
Listen, California, a whole nother.
Do you
That's a.
understand?
Hmm.
Stockings. I don't stop. Ma'am, ma'am.
Ooh.
Ma'am, I
Oh.
rebuke this. Do you understand? It
Did
was
you have
then
a
that I
slip
rebuked the
on?
stockings. Yeah, okay, okay, yes. Wait, it was like, oh no, man, who's sitting up in here? Can't breathe. What is going? Stuff rolling all up in you, trying to look professional. And I was like, wait, I don't have to do this. There's a completely different dress code here. So when it came, there's again, there's a certain way that you carry yourself that gives character to whatever it is that you have on. That's what I decided. So as long as I am, like the old folks say, decent and in order, then you have to get over it. our good friend across the hall from me in the department, who always gets me together. Now, let me tell y'all this background. I am kind of tall for a woman. I'm 5'7" and like maybe and a half. I'm pretty famous for my stilettos in office. So,
Yes.
the five,
Yes.
I kind of like 5-inch heels, right?
Yes.
And my waist is my torso is short, which means my legs are long. Anything that I wear that comes above the knee has with the heels on is gonna make my legs look like they are 6 feet long by themselves. So we have some people who have stuff to say about, do you go, oh, you got the thighs out? Not necessarily, ma'am. Just because you see 6 feet between my kneecaps and the floor, it's not necessarily. And I'm not sitting on the front row of the Baptist church. That's what I'm not.
Right.
I'm not doing. I'm not even, unless I'm sitting in a seminar classroom with my grad students. I'm not even sitting down in front of the students. Why are you concerned about? I don't have to wear it to the ground. It does not take away from my professionalism. It does not. It does not.
Yeah. But you know what? The thing that I do, even though I don't agree with with your colleague across the hall, what I love about that is that that's the diversity within our community, right? That you can have someone who is like that consummate conservative church woman, church mother, and then you can roll up in your dresses with your stilettos. And then I remember we had a colleague who, no, he was there before you got there, but you about to know who I'm talking about. He rolled up in a hoodie and jeans and taught classes in a hoodie and jeans, and some days might have had a fanny pack on, right? So you have a diverse group of people, and so students get that exposure to all of us, right?
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful thing. So, lady, as you are thinking about whether you want to go to an HBCU, for our younger listeners, and not just let me not discriminate, not just our younger listeners, lady, if you're out there and you're contemplating going to college, like you're making a career transition or life transition, and you're like, okay, maybe I need to go to college,
or even finishing. There are a lot of universities that are developing these completion programs, continuation programs, transfer programs, trying to bring people back so that a lot of the non-traditional student population has the opportunity to actually complete their degree programs. I had students who came through our department who had started their undergraduate programs the year I was born. I was like, oh,
yes,
all right, 73. Well, all right.
Yep.
I do remember. We're going to get you done. Yeah, we're going to get you done.
I remember a student who, yes, she started at TSU before I was born. And had taken time off because she said when she first started, she wasn't ready for college. She wasn't prepared. She wasn't ready. And 40 years later, she came back and she finished her degree and she graduated with honors. And I was just like, those types of experiences are the reason why HBCUs need to exist and why we should support them. So, lady, yes, as you're listening and you're trying to make a decision on, do you want to go to college and is an HBCU right for you versus a PWI? Take a visit to an HBCU, a couple of HBCUs, because they're not all created equal, because we're definitely not monolithic.
Not.
Check it out. So, again, thank you all for joining us for the after show. And we will see you next time.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
Thank you.